Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's start this episode off right. Well, this is part 3 of the Game Club of the Week, and we go over the news that we care about. And let's start with some pretty big news on the Square Enix and Marvel front. They have announced they have made a multi-game partnership that's going to start with an Avengers game made by the Tomb Raider developers, Crystal Dynamics.
Oh.
That's pretty awesome.
Delicious.
Yeah. Made both by the Crystal Dynamics people and the Deus Ex developer Eidos Montreal.
Huh.
I mean, that's an amazing duo. I mean, that's no that's no just like cheapo license game right there, right?
It seems like superhero games tend to
be awful.
Yeah.
Well, because they tend to be just licensed shill games, right?
Yeah.
They're just trying to make a buck based on
Superman
the name.
64.
That game was.
Gosh.
Hey, careful. That game's canon, bro.
That game was so bad.
All right, well, you're fired.
People go back and do let's plays of that game to show that it's literally unplayable at certain points.
It's considered one of the worst games of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, by people who don't know what they're talking about. IGN, I'm looking at you.
Are they going to make it VR?
Ouch.
I want Avengers VR. I want to be the Hulk.
I don't think they haven't mentioned VR.
I need a Hulk VR game. Come on. Smash and crap. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Copyright patent pending.
So let's just theorize for a minute here. Let's just project, on no basis whatsoever, other than knowing Square Enix. What kind of game do you suppose that'll be?
Trash.
If superhero games are any indication, it'll probably be Hawkeye's Arrow Simulator. Arrows.
My skin.
I don't know. I'm thinking personally that it'd be something more like a third-person Borderlands style game in which you get to choose from a number of characters. It's not an open world map, but like a series of open hubs. And there's various villains that
wasn't there an MMO like that where you could make a superhero character and
DC Universe Online.
There's one before that too.
Oh really? Well, DC Universe Online was essentially you made an all new hero in the DC universe, and then you palled around with the various heroes of that universe and did various missions against Brainiac.
I am the Car Man.
The Car Man. Well, since Chris Carman is absolutely not going to partake in that exercise, then let's move on. I thought it was worth mentioning that Resident Evil 7 has shipped, which is not the same thing as sold, 2.5 million units.
What's the difference?
Reports GameSpot. Well, shipped is they've sent it to stores to be sold.
Okay.
Right. So they're expecting them to be sold. They wouldn't overship on purpose.
Sure they wouldn't.
Well, usually they try not to do that. They try to meet what seems to be reasonable. That doesn't always work out.
That's how video games end up in dumpsters.
But basically that means that that Resident Evil 7 has not sold 2.5 million units. That it's sold somewhere below that.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 million units, maybe 1.5,
maybe
still
4.
Still pretty good.
Honestly, in the realm of AAA games, that's not very
Not that good? Okay, got it.
I mean, you would expect something a AAA game to sell between 3 and 5 million units. Between 3 and 5 million units minimum.
Within the first month, or just over the life of the game?
Over the first month,
that's pretty crazy.
Something like a Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
I remember when they were
but how many Resident Evils have they made?
More than 7. So there's 7. There's 7 that
plus
are
the movies.
Yeah, well,
it just feels like can a brand be too oversaturated?
But they did take a break from Resident Evil for a while. There wasn't any.
But by the time they took the break, hadn't they already made too many?
Well, they had made they were popular, but the quality kept on dipping.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
A lot of people say that the quality peaked at 4. I'm not sure I agree with that, but a lot of people.
PS1.
No, 4 was first on the GameCube, and then it. I think it was re-released in a few other places, but well after the fact. But it was initially a GameCube game.
Yeah.
Capcom used to really support the GameCube with a lot of great games.
It's super odd.
It was the last time
They're the
Nintendo.
only ones.
Yeah. No, I mean, the GameCube had support, but it was the last Nintendo console to have any kind of serious third-party support, really. Every console after that just got mediocre
I just can't
support.
ever imagine somebody sitting in a boardroom going, all right, guys, GameCube exclusive. Here we go. All right. What are some of our ideas?
First of all, does it have to start cubes? But anyways, I thought those numbers were kind of low. Chris, were you expecting it to do better? Because I sort of was expecting it to hit the like 4 million mark.
Nah, I think people are kind of tired of Resident Evil.
Over it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Why don't you give us the news we really don't care about that much?
And Chris, over to you.
What? Oh, you didn't have your
News we don't care about? I thought.
Oh.
Duck and roll, baby. All right. Now to everybody's favorite corner. The hot corner, the commodity corner, that is the mobile gaming corner.
Filthy casual corner.
Filthy cash, son. Cash money. Okay, so Clash of Clans is a game we all know and love. It's a basic, you make a base and you try and attack other bases, right? Not very big. Big
You're
deal.
basic.
And so the Iranian government this month blocked Clash of Clans. They put a nationwide block on it, citing concerns that the game promotes tribal conflict. Just the fact that this is a thing is probably my favorite thing about this episode.
If only they could transition some of the tribal conflict onto Clash of Clans.
Yeah, dude. So this is what's funny, right? So the mobile strategy game, hugely popular in Iran, according to Polygon.com, with local distributor Cafe Bazaar claiming a 64% market share based on 1,000 gamers. So the idea is that Iranian censors are following the findings of like these psychologists, I guess this panel of psychologists, right? That the game encourages the violence, and it's possible that they're afraid, that it might spill over into real life. So really, as of right now, the only way that the game can be played is through VPN, right? Stuff that go around like the local blocks or whatever. But I just think it's funny, man. I like the fact that Iran's communication minister, Mohammed Vaizi, I don't know, said that he was going to talk about this with Iran's president. Like,
come on, bro.
That's how you know you've made it. As a game, as a platform, as whatever it is, like, you were banned for being too good at whatever, at promoting tribal conflict with giants and witches and Valkyries who spin axes really fast and guys who Mr. T licensed out his image, his face to ride pigs.
I'm surprised Clash of Clans cares about this so much. So like, what, Iran? No.
And so this is the weird thing. Last year the Iranian government banned Pokemon Go. So it just kind of seems like they're just scrolling through like the top list of whatever the App Store feed is and go ban that one, ban that one, ban that one. So
all the Pokemon were at the U.S. the U.S. bases.
Actually, that was partly true. Yeah, that they had some sensitive areas of which the Pokemon were staying. But we're gonna keep an eye on this for you as your local F&W Game Club news team. It's a new segment called "What Will Iran Ban Next?" So that's all
Thanks,
I got for
Obama.
this one. Back over to you, Chris.
Oh, you don't want to do your other story?
And I thought we were taking turns. I was trying to be like a newscaster, but I realized that the camera's not on you.
And that we're not newscasters.
So that didn't quite go over well. All right.
Not as easy as it looks.
Back to someone who's not me. Yeah.
All right. Okay, I guess I'll take over. So another notable piece of news, just to note it, is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is on its way. It's going to be releasing along with the Switch on March 3rd. So that's just slightly more than a month away by the time you see this video.
Yep.
But it was also announced that we all knew that the Zelda game was both a Switch game and a Wii U game, but now Nintendo has pretty much confirmed that this is the final Wii U game. Obviously, they've left the door open for maybe a third party releasing a game on the Wii U, but again, that would require third party support.
Again, nobody's sitting in a boardroom going, "All right, Wii U, what are we releasing as an exclusive?"
Nobody's releasing games on the Wii U. It's an open market.
Let's trap it. We could totally corner this thing.
So, Zelda, for those few people, me being one of them, who own a Wii U, this is our, unless we buy a Switch and buy Zelda on that, this is our final foray for Wii U, this Zelda Breath of the Wild.
As it will fade slowly into the abyss of blackness, never to be heard or seen from again.
Slowly into the pile of discarded Nintendo consoles.
With all the feral Furbies.
And in 30 years, you can buy them for way too much.
I feel bad for the podcast that comes after us in 30 years and like, guys, have you seen this new Wii U thing that they're bringing back? It is so rad.
It has a screen on the controller.
Suckers. How primitive.
So, no more Wii U games. It is officially
Wii U. Woo. Wii U. Wii U. Wii. See you later,
All
sucker.
right, we're done. Chris, give us some PC news because that's the future.
Some PC news. All right, give me 1 second to pull this up here.
Ew.
People say expect RAM prices to keep rising.
Ram Paul?
So a story on PCGamer.com. It's talking about basically phones are using up all the RAM. So if you are doing a new build and you're seeing the prices of RAM go up, then you should be mad at people's smartphones. That's what I got from this.
All right.
Yep, pretty exciting. So
Yeah, I mean, this is well, it's going back to the scarcity thing that we discussed before. I think on the other video we did is that as
wait, I got to put my picture up.
as electronics become
What is that? What is that?
This is a glorious PC master race.
as electronics
I don't even know what that is.
become more
PCs
they
are the
permeate
best.
more all throughout all you know what, shut it down. No, as electrons become permeate more and take on new forms, and we all got to buy them. First everybody had to have a phone, then everybody had to have a smartphone, then it was everybody had to have not everybody, but many people want smartwatches, and these things keep permeating, needing screens, needing chips, needing silicone, needing all kinds of stuff. At some point, there's just not enough of it to go around, and prices start going up because demand.
Right.
And-
Well, and that's why they're saying if you're doing a PC build and you're kind of deciding whether to do it now or wait a couple months, so if you want to buy RAM, you may want to do it now.
So just get the RAM. Ramrod.
Do you got any
Say Team Ramrod.
Do you got any RAM suggestions, Chris?
I've had good luck with Corsair.
Okay.
I got Patriot RAM in my PC currently, and it's holding up okay.
Did it vote for Trump?
So
So over to PC news. Mobile gaming news. Super Mario Run is launching on Android in March. So not the biggest of successes in. Not the biggest success by any standards as far as the iPhone market is concerned, in my estimation. But it will be.
according to stats on Josh.com.
Yeah, well, you can find them all on 538.com, of which I write for. Wow, that's not true. But again, it's going to be the same $9.99 price, so we'll have to look out for that. It launched on Apple in December 15th of last year, obviously, and so it's going to be releasing in Android in March. And I was curious as to what your thoughts were, if there was, in your mind, an intentionality of them doing this to kind of coincide with the release of the Switch, kind of in that same area, and wondering if it's a connectedness, if they somehow win, right? If they kind of like trying to fire on all fronts to get people to be a part of that, or if you think they're just totally unrelated, or I don't know.
That's a good question. I think Nintendo doesn't necessarily know what to do with mobile gaming yet, and I'm not sure that. I have a feeling that the way Nintendo thinks right now, and this is all intuitive. It's not based on any kind of like interviews or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're trying to push into the mobile market, but they're still not completely sold on it as a viable platform for their games, and so they have to have the Nintendo Switch. And it seems like the company as a whole is still banking on the Nintendo Switch and not at all really on its mobile gaming.
Yeah. So in your mind, though, doesn't it seem like, and Chris, if you have an idea answering on this too, but doesn't it seem like that Nintendo is like perfectly suited for the mobile gaming world? Graphics, gameplay, difficulty, strategy, like it all seems to just fit in line with a crapper game or something that you would sit on, like that you'd play while you're dropping a deuce.
Right. I mean, everybody just. I think that we're getting a contradictory narrative about Nintendo from media right now. On the one hand, people say, "Oh, Nintendo, they're so intuitive and creative, and they make all these really new things," and then when they talk about Super Mario Run, they praise them for doing just what's a normal.
Flappy Bird.
Yeah, they made Flappy Bird just with actual licensed parts.
They made an infinite runner that's not even infinite, right? It's just a runner, and it seems like what Nintendo, if they're so intuitive and so creative, they should have come and done something amazing.
Yeah.
For the
not just made Mario run automatically.
Show us what a AAA game on a phone can look like. I understand that controls are a problem, but you know what? That's where you get intuitive. That's when you figure out that.
That's why you're Nintendo and we're the consumer.
Right. There. And I definitely believe that Nintendo could have done that. but they're not really truly investing. I think they're taking a half step. They're putting some money behind.
Well, and that's why I was wondering, because they could see it, just maybe try and point the energy over to the Switch, or just kind of get themselves in the news a little bit.
And again, like Super Mario Run for cell phone game looks decent, but you know what? It's just using the new Super Mario Brothers engine, which has existed for probably a decade now.
Yeah.
It's actually not a very passionate attempt at putting Mario onto a phone.
Right.
I would have liked to have seen them like actually develop from the ground up a new Mario experience that utilizes the phone.
Like, Chris, can you imagine if they made like a Mario 64 type game, like for the actual iPhone? There, like that expansive of a world, like that much gameplay,
right
there, because they could probably fit that in there now, couldn't they?
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like no problem. Right? I mean, that's not like an insane
nobody
thing.
in this room would ever do this, but you could emulate those games very easily on your phones.
Yeah, dude, that sounds amazing to me. So I don't know. I was just curious your thoughts on something like that, because it seemed to coincide perfectly in my mind.
Yeah. I think what's really happening here is they don't fully believe in the mobile market yet.
Yeah.
As a Nintendo platform.
I would agree. I agree with that.
Chris, did you have any more PC news?
Well, I got some updates coming.
Dun, dun,
So,
dun.
Into the Gungeon.
Yes.
Which we did a video on. Yes. They got an update coming.
Tell us what's in that update.
Oh.
I remember there was
I got to find this quote, right? Players will come across new guns like the bullet gun, a gun shaped like a bullet that shoots guns, and those guns shoot bullets.
It's a gun shaped like a bullet that shoots guns that shoots bullets.
Got it.
It's the ultimate Inception, Gunception. And they're also doing a 50% discount over the weekend right now. So go grab Into the Gungeon.
That is fully worth.
Gungeon!
That's worth the full price and then some. So get it for 50% off.
$6.79.
Oh, that's a steal.
On the weekend deal. And they're doing a full expansion at the end of the year or early next year.
Yeah, and that expansion is going to be, it was 200 added levels, right? Something like that.
No, that's in the free update. 200 new levels.
Oh, I thought that was in the expansion.
No,
oh,
they are,
wow.
yeah. So, I mean, they're really giving you a lot of bang for your buck here.
Yeah, they are.
And then the other big update, Titanfall 2, is getting new content in February and March. Getting a new game mode, new weapons, and new map.
Nice.
And one of the maps is a remake of a map from Titanfall 1. The cool thing about Titanfall's DLC is it's all free.
Titanfall's DNC. They just drone kill you all the time.
Yeah, they're doing all free DLC for Titanfall 2. So I guess EA heard the complaints, or I don't know. They're trying not to be the most evil company in the world now.
Just goes to show you, I mean, it's about the free market.
Yeah.
Right? People finally responded to EA en masse, and EA said, okay.
Yeah,
So
so a bunch
fixing
of
up the
free
problems.
DLC.
Yeah.
Good for you, EA.
Well, let's go over what's coming out pretty soon before we wrap this up. On the PS4, we have Dynasty Warriors God Seekers. That sounds like it's like the other half of the Martin Scorsese's Silence movie. It's the side of the Japanese people going out to find the God Seekers. There's Neo. Everybody's really excited for Neo. It's basically take Dark Souls but have a bit more Japanese flair than Dark Souls has. Then that will give you Neo.
Was he so sick of love songs? That's a song by R&B artist Neo.
Moving on. In about 2 weeks, For Honor is coming out, and I kind of expect that to be a massive flop. What do you think, Chris? That's the one where you can pick from a few factions, and you have a bunch of NPCs that surround you, and you're like an OP character who can kill NPCs real easily, and you're facing other online players, and it's mostly sword battle.
Yeah, all I care about is Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yes, that's coming soon too, but I'm not going to mention it yet. And for PlayStation owners, we're about a month away from Horizon Zero Dawn, and that's probably the most expected PS4 game since the PS4 came out. This is probably its biggest game, with Last of Us 2 being even bigger when it comes out in like 2 years. Who knows? Chris, do you have the PC list?
PC list. There's only one thing on here that you need to know that matters coming up. Double Dragon 4 out tomorrow, January 30th.
We played that, did we not?
We'll have a video for it.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Double Dragon
using
4.
using those
Double
8-bit graphics.
Dragon.
Yeah.
So I mean, other than that, that's pretty much all I'm looking at right now.
Is there anything on the Microsoft side of things?
On Xbox?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple. 22 days from the recording of this video, Halo comes out. They're the new Halo Wars
Halo
game.
Wars.
So that
I
looks
love
pretty
the
good.
first Halo Wars.
82 on the Metacritic score, which is pretty good. Right? I mean, that's a fairly decent Metacritic score.
Halo Wars 1 or 2?
2. Halo Wars 2 has
That's already got
been given an
Metacritic score.
82. Just what I'm reading right here.
Okay.
That looks pretty good. South Park, the Fractured But Whole game.
Oh man, when is that set to
March
release?
31st it drops.
Oh, nice.
It's a good one. I have a soft spot for Tekken games, even though they're terrible.
It's because they beat a soft spot into you?
And yeah, okay, I mean, kind of.
All right.
So that comes out in June. But so those
June?
Yeah, I mean, it's not close. I
That's
didn't say it was
coming
close. I didn't say it was close. All right, I didn't say it was close. Don't yell at me.
Amateur hour over here.
But I am excited mainly for Halo Wars, and then maybe Fractured Butthole will be fun to play.
It always is. All right. Well, guess that's the news. Again, like and subscribe if you would, and find all of our information in the description, and have a great day.
Yeah, I love you.